My goal with this channel is to apply philosophical insights to modern life to help us live more intentionally. And by intentionally, I mean figuring out where we are now, where we want to be, and then identifying the steps in between that can help us get there. If your life is already perfect and you are exactly where you want to be, then this channel is probably not for you. But I know that I'm not there yet, and if you're also not there yet, I think the first step to reaching our best life is figuring out what we actually want. But that's a difficult question to answer because it's difficult to distinguish between the future we truly want from the future we merely think we want. In this episode, I'll provide an insight that can help us answer this question. In Inquiry Concerning Human Understanding, David Hume points out that every idea is copied from some preceding impression or sentiment. In other words, the mind does not create its picture of the future out of nothing. It can only work with the materials it has already received from experience. Hume writes, "But though our thought seems to possess this unbounded liberty, we shall find upon a nearer examination that it is really confined within very narrow limits, and that all this creative power of the mind amounts to no more than the faculty of compounding, transposing, augmenting, or diminishing the materials afforded us by the senses and experience." That means when we imagine our future, the materials that our mind has to work with are confined to the impressions that we've already absorbed from our life experiences. But this raises a problem. How can we accurately imagine a future we've never experienced if our mind can only work with what it has already experienced? Take marriage, for example, where picking the right partner is the most important decision many of us will ever make. But before we're married, we've never experienced marriage. So how can we make an educated decision when it comes to picking the right partner? Naturally, the first thing we do is try to imagine ourselves being married, and we imagine the qualities that we think we want in a partner. But the only material our mind has to imagine with comes from the marriages we've observed in real life, along with what we've seen in movies and on TV or read in books. And the point of this episode is to share that we should draw on real life examples as much as we can when imagining our ideal future. Because if the material we're drawing from to imagine our future is false or distorted, then the image of the future marriage that we think we want will be grounded in fiction, which could lead to choosing the wrong partner. The same principle applies to wealth. Most of us don't have millions of dollars, so if we try to imagine what it would be like to have millions and millions of dollars, our mind draws on the materials available to it, which are the rich people we've observed in real life, as well as what we've seen in movies and on TV. If we focus too much on what we've seen in those fictions, then the picture of wealth in our mind will not be grounded in reality, leaving us chasing a kind of life that isn't actually real. And so the insight that I want you to take away from this episode is that when you're imagining the future you want from yourself, pay attention to the real life examples as much as possible. Ground your imagination in real people and real lives, not in Hollywood images that are designed to entertain and exaggerate. Because when imagination is grounded in reality, our expectations become more realistic. And sometimes that realism changes the goal itself. It helps us stop chasing a fake version of success and instead start aiming at a life we would actually want to live. I think one of the simplest ways to apply this is to think of someone you know personally who is older than you, whose life you genuinely admire. Not a celebrity or an influencer, someone you actually know. Then ask yourself, what specific aspects of their life do I want in mine when I reach that age? Is it their career position, their marriage, their house, their relationships? Think about whatever it is that you like about their lives that you would want in yours. You can also do the reverse. Think of someone older than you whose life you do not want to resemble. What specific aspects of their life do you hope to avoid? Is it their loneliness, the poor way they treat people, their lack of direction? What is it about their lives that you do not want in yours? I think this is a powerful exercise because it gives us direction that is grounded in reality rather than fantasy, which helps us aim at something more likely to align with what we actually want. Lastly, Hume gives us a test to see where our ideas of the future are coming from. He says to simply ask, from what impression is this supposed idea derived? If we find that the future we're picturing for ourselves is being built mostly from movies, TV, and other cultural fantasy, then we should be careful trusting it. But if it's grounded in real-life impressions of people and lives we have actually observed, then the future we're aiming at is more likely to be the one we truly want.